put in the chat where you're logging in from, which market you're looking to expand your network in. We just reached shy of we're just under 300 members in Capital Races Club right now, and we're currently building the community platform that's going to be on community.capitalracesclub.com in a short while. So please check your emails if you haven't received the invite already for that. It should be in your email box by Saturday. And if it's not there, just hit me up with a DM here on LinkedIn, here on Twitter, here on YouTube. Wherever you're watching this from, feel free to subscribe, feel free to follow, and let's get to the topic. Today is just a free networking event of people coming together, networking with each other. And right now, checking if everything is okay on the studio. And so for those live on LinkedIn, we can't see who is live and who is not unless you put anything in the chat. Fortunately, LinkedIn doesn't allow us to have access to that data yet. It's still a platform that's getting used to the live streaming. If you notice that today is the first time we're streaming live to our Twitter account, at Race Club. I'm gonna just give a shout out to our Twitter account, Race Club, like this. So feel free to check us out on Twitter as well, with that tag. Yeah, I thought we would have more members here by now. We don't. So instead, I'm gonna wing it, and we're gonna see how that goes. The current market we're looking mainly in, we're looking in Texas market. I'm looking in the Texas market all the way from Mexico right now. I'm in Veracruz. My team is based in US. We have team members in New Jersey, team members in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona. We have team members in Ohio, Cincinnati. We have team members in Atlanta, and we're currently underwriting and doing due diligence on a property in Houston, Texas. And for anybody who is looking to invest, hey Cecilia, nice that you're here. What is your best advice for networking and building your net worth? That's a great question, by the way. I'm just going to shortly introduce what I was about to introduce, which is if you're looking to put capital to work for you in the Houston market, soon we may have a deal for you. We still haven't registered this as an active deal yet. It's still not an active deal. So feel free to DM me, send me an email, and let's discuss at a later point. However, we're gonna move on to the first question from the audience. Hi, Cecilia. So this is the question from the audience. By the way, we forgot to put in our banner, which is, and introduce our sponsor. We're going to do that shortly after this question. So Cecilia asked, excited to be here. What's your best advice for networking and building your net worth? So for me, networking is key for everything. Wait, first of all, let me check. Is the sound working okay from your end? And can you see the text if you're watching this from LinkedIn? Is the captions working? Or if you're watching this from YouTube, is the captions working? I'm just interested in looking at how this looks from the point of the audience. Yeah, so that we can improve. So back to your question of advice on networking and building your net worth, I would say, have you right now, what kind of networking are you looking to do? Is this networking for like social things, or is this for real estate in general? If so, for real estate, I definitely recommend utilizing LinkedIn more actively, as in following. Sound is great. Also, the text is good as well. Thank you for the quick feedback. So I would say the first thing with LinkedIn is connect with people in your market. Never mind. Anyways, we're gonna network in our markets by connecting with active investors, active professionals in our industry, where we're looking to network. So, for instance, what we did when we moved to San Antonio, Texas last year, last summer, was that we connected with 400 professionals in the San Antonio, Austin market. That was even before we landed in Texas. So we were doing all of this all the way from Europe. We were doing this from Switzerland. We were doing this from Mexico. We kept this going even when we went to South, like Central America, back to North America. So we always want to connect in the network, in the market that we're active in. I did that by utilizing LinkedIn mainly. I connected with brokers. I connected with uh, lawyers. I connected with uh, realtors. I connected with active investors. I connected with passive investors. I went to a lot of virtual meetups. I connected with them on the virtual meetups on LinkedIn too, to make sure that, hey, now we can, connect and maybe have a one-on-one soon. So that helped me in when we went to San Antonio. Our market last summer was we went to all the live meetups that we could find. There's I don't know which market you're looking mainly in, but if you could put in a market that you're interested in networking in, I would suggest going to meetup.com or Eventbrite and search for your city or your town, and you search for real estate networking meetups or whatever kind of networking event that you're looking to do. Do it live in real person, like in person. Networking events are the best. When possible. Now during COVID, a lot of them canceled. A lot of them are, mainly virtual. That's fine. So you can search for that city where you're looking to invest or where you're looking to grow your network, and you can attend those virtual events from basically anywhere. So there's local meetups that I have seen in Dallas that I've attended all the way from El Salvador. So I mean, your location does not prohibit you from attending live virtual meetups, sort of like this one as well. I mean, right now we're doing this from Veracruz. We're investing in Texas mainly, and we get to network. So it's great that you're showing yourself in the comments here where you're at, where that you have value to provide. People will reach out to you sooner or later, as soon as they realize that, holy cow, this Cecilia Hollmerus, she's on it. She's asking the great questions. So put yourself out there. Closed mouth does not get fed. So building your net worth too. Well, it comes with getting into great deals. Building your net worth is like a topic of itself. It's I would say generate assets, create assets, buy assets, or in one way or another acquire assets. Like just acquire assets. That's how you build your net worth. And also, I mean, limit your liabilities. So if you have car payments that aren't serving you, if you have student debt that isn't serving you, just get rid of it. Get rid of bad debt and get good debt. Right now, you can get great mortgages. Still, they're likely gonna increase. I'm not saying when. I don't have a crystal ball for that, but increasing your net worth by taking a smart loan, uh, where you can invest in an asset that is growing. I mean, that is the way I would say. So, anyways, any other questions from the audience? If not, I would like to continue on the topic of building your network. I would say also joining online communities like the GOB network, which is bringing me to the sponsor of today's broadcast, today's live event. So without further ado, 1 second, please. So as you can see, capitalraisersclub.com. You can go to capitalraisersclub.com for more of these events. Today's event is sponsored by gobnetwork.com. Wait, that was the wrong one. I'm gonna create a new banner. It's updated. Oh, is that updated in live? So today's event is sponsored by gobnetwork.com, where you can connect with active and passive investors. And I highly recommend going to gobnetwork.com. And it's a freemium model. You need to have somebody who refers you so that you can be accepted as a member, as an active member. If you need any referrals, look at the business page on LinkedIn. You will find a lot of active members that are replying in the posts, that are active in the chats on those comments. So go to some networking events, some meetups. There are about 25 to 40 per week, depending on which week you're looking at. So there are a lot of networking events where you can connect with a lot of passive and active investors. So yeah, today we sent out the email blast way too late. Sent it out about 15 minutes before this event, which goes to show that, hey, we at Capital Races Club, we need to up our email game. And next event, I can already plug that one because we're super excited for Thursday's event, where we're gonna get to interview Veena Jetty. And if you haven't met Veena Jetty yet, she's a highly interesting individual. She's a high achiever of the best kind, because within commercial real estate space, you have heard that there are some people that say the Pareto rule, which states 80%, 80-20 rule, Pareto law, which states that 80% of the deals, and it really doesn't matter which asset you're talking about, but 80% of the deals that come across a broker's desk is going to go to 20% of the investors that they have on their list. Or for instance, 80% of the real estate market is currently owned. I'm right now outside, and there are so many distractions here. Next event, I'm going to make sure that we have a different office that we're working out of. But we're making this work for now. So 80-20 rule, getting back to that, because I think it's very important to understand that there are a very small group of people who take massive action and who does 80% of the deals that are out there. So when we're talking about commercial real estate, and when we're talking about Texas commercial real estate, Veena Jetty is a powerhouse. Her Viva Funds is one of the largest, one of the most active funds out there in Texas. So definitely a force to be reckoned with, and also a person that you want to be connected with and learn from. So definitely come to our Thursday's event this week. It's going to be at 1 p.m. Central Time. For those on East Coast, that's going to be 2 p.m. Eastern Time. For all of you all on the West Coast, it's going to be 11 a.m. Pacific Time. So bring your questions. You can send questions also to Capital Racers Club email, which is caprace@gmail.com. Instead of sending an email, just send them in the chat in the event. It's already created. If you go to our business profile on or our page on YouTube or our page on LinkedIn, you can put it in the chat already, because the stream is already up there. It says right now with a picture of live stream starting soon, and that's going to be on Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Time. We have another question from the audience. Very active user here, active member here. Cecilia, what has been for you the best asset to invest in, and why would you recommend that? I would say real estate, but I mean, I'm biased. So I bought my first house when I was 20 years old. That was about almost to the day now, 10 years ago. And why it's been my best asset to invest in is because it's that it wasn't the best deal. I didn't know what I was doing in form of investing. I was thinking more of, hey, I'm gonna I'm gonna buy a house, and we're gonna live in this house. And later on, I'm sure we're gonna rent it out. And when we're renting it out, they're gonna pay us just like before we bought the house. We were living in a rental, a very small rental. We had everything we needed. We had a couple of bedrooms. We had a kitchen and everything. And I was thinking to myself that, hey, why am I paying the rent all the time to a landlord when I could be the landlord? That that kind of logic didn't make sense to me. And I was kind of young at the time, and I asked my parents, "Hey, you have rental properties, and you've had rental properties over the years. Uh, when should I get one?" Or I was asking for advice, like which market, which area should we move to and look for properties. And my partner at the time, we were discussing it at length. Where do we want to buy an apartment? What kind of a size? What kind of a budget do we have? And we're looking at the wrong things. We didn't know at the time that real estate can be an investment asset. We didn't see it as an asset. We just saw it as a investment opportunity, but not. We didn't understand that, or I did not understand the the real value of buying real estate back then. So we bought a house that was overpriced, and we didn't negotiate much, and our negotiations didn't go well either. So even though we did most of the things that you read in books, you read in courses, and you follow from mentors saying that, hey, you have to buy it right. Even though we did that, we bought it at a time that was 10 years ago, and we've had it rented out for almost 6 years now, which means that that same scenario that we were going through before we bought the house, where, hey, I'm living in a house, I'm paying the rent to a landlord. Why am I doing that? I could buy my own asset, right? That is now how we have created an asset out of a property that was never meant to be, or it was never planned to be the best kind of investment asset or investment income. So yeah, we renovated. We overdid the renovation. We were sure that, hey, this is the best apartment on the block. We put some AC units in, a couple of them, just because why not? And we definitely overspent on our budget. We even had with our zoning and everything. We didn't do the zoning before after, so we we did most of the things that you read in textbooks and workshops and everything. We did most of those wrong, and we learned so much. And I would say that it's the best asset that I've invested in because of the lessons that I've learned from it. Not just the money that we made of it, but the lessons that we learned from it. It's just lifelong lessons that I keep on giving, because now I can see in different markets. Right now we're in Mexico. We can see a lot of properties that are overly, what would you say, overpriced. They're overpriced because you can find the similar asset close by at half the price. So it just depends on how you look at it. Now I see the real estate trends in a way different way, as I have now for the past couple of years, um, since 2012. Yeah, since 2012, I have been studying the real estate market. I was about to buy our second investment opportunity. We were looking for another investment property in the same town, a little bit closer to city center. And this time I was just looking from an investment standpoint. By then I had discovered biggerpockets.com. I don't know if you've heard of the website, but it's a great resource with a lot of tools, members, and you can network with a lot of people that are active investors and that have done this before. So now I was connected with experienced investors that had invested in different markets. I learned from them what to look for and what to look out for, because you don't know what you're getting into until you actually go through all the inspections and go through all the due diligence. And we didn't do much of due diligence at all when we bought our first property. And yeah, long story short, we ended up not buying that second property. And for the past couple of years, we've been looking in different markets, and now I've been looking with my team to look mainly for commercial real estate in the state of Texas, because of the landlord or the friendliness it's a landlord-friendly state. Sorry, sorry about the background noise. I'm gonna go inside for a little bit. We're gonna take a short break. I'm gonna show the banner again, and we're gonna be back in about less than a minute. Awesome. I'm back inside now. So back to the topic of connecting and networking within commercial real estate or real estate industry. Thanks for all the questions, by the way. Super fun when we have engaging members here in the Capital Races Club. So another question. Hey, you're very active, Cecilia. Thank you. What made you invest in commercial real estate instead of residential? All right. So first, let me start out by saying that we didn't plan out going commercial in the beginning. As we were looking at different markets, we're looking for healthy market trends, which is, you have a lot of employers moving in. And we were looking at Georgia a lot. We were looking at Atlanta. We were looking at Columbus, Georgia. There was a lot of different markets in Georgia that we were very interested in investing in. And then we noticed that, hey, when we later decided to take a look at the Texas market as well, we noticed the same kind of trends. We have a lot of, hey, great to see you here, Greg. So back to the question of what made us decide to go commercial route instead of residential. When we looked at and remember when I said earlier in this live stream, I share with you that when we connected with a lot of investors in the commercial real estate space, with a lot of brokers, a lot of lenders, a lot of active deal sponsors, a lot of active operators, and also passive operators, and we went to a lot of these networking groups and meetups, we realized that kind of quickly, for all the work that we do in the real estate space, in residential, looking at bigger properties, or looking at properties that specifically within multifamily. For instance, you have a residential property, you have 4 tenants. Residential multifamily. You have 4 tenants in your fourplex. And what happens when, let's say, one person moves out of that vacancy just because one person moved out? That to me is risky. That to us, we really started to realize that, hey, this is too risky of an investment asset to put this much time into. So when we started to look at 50 and up, 100 and up, and even 300 and up, we noticed that, hey, we have a larger team, we have a more experienced team that we're working with. And with that, it just made more sense for us to go the commercial real estate route. So we've been looking at commercial real estate for over a year now, since we realized that, hey, you need to focus on what you're good at. You need to understand the underwriting. You need to understand the market due diligence. You have to also understand about the asset. All of that work, but it's a greater upside in commercial real estate than, I would say, in residential. So that's how we decided on commercial real estate. All right, we have Gregory Dion. Thank you for the invitation, Sam. It's great being here. Hey, I appreciate you being here, brother. How are you doing today? And feel free to share any questions or inputs. If you'd like to jump up here and network with us all, this is a live stream going to LinkedIn, to YouTube, and to Twitter. So yeah, feel free to join us up here. Let us know who you are and what you do and where you're looking for, or what you're looking for. And yeah, that way we can connect and network with you too. Happy that you're here, brother. We're gonna go to a short commercial break or ad, where I'm gonna share with you who's the sponsor of the day. So capitalracesclub.com, capitalracesclub.com for more of these networking events. Today's event is sponsored by gobnetwork.com, where you can connect with passive and active investors. And when I share with you earlier in this live stream that I networked a lot, I went to all the GOB network events that I could in a week. I went to at least 20 per week. So connected with hundreds of other members. We're currently at 600 members plus, over 6,500 units under management. That's active units under management right now within the network. So it's quite a large network with super successful and also very humble and down-to-earth members. So definitely check it out. And if you want to know more, please go to gobnetwork.com. Man, I'm getting better at this. All right, back to Q&A. So feel free, if you are watching this on LinkedIn, if you're watching this on Twitter, if you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to put in the chat. Not sure if we have people watching from Twitter, since we created the Twitter account like yesterday. It could take a while to grow it a little bit. But from YouTube and LinkedIn, feel free to put your questions, your input in the chat, how people can reach out to you, how people can connect with you, and we'll share it here. And it's a networking event, so feel free to also join us on stage. To get the invite link, please share it here. 1 second. Please send me a DM on LinkedIn, or you can also send me an email if you have my email. Please don't spam me. but please send us a message, and I will invite you for the next one. For this one today, I already sent in a couple of invites, and yeah, we're gonna see if any of them show up today. It was very short notice. We've been doing the email blast a little bit differently today, so still growing, still learning. So yeah, what do you all want to talk about? We have Cecilia in the audience, and I believe Greg is also in the audience. What do you all want to network and talk about today? Okay, so Greg just put in the chat on LinkedIn. Gregory Dion says, we're looking to connect with passive and active investors. We're also looking to link up with capital raisers, equity partners, and equity lenders as well. Well, awesome. Now you put it out there. Closed mouths don't get fed, but yours will. Hey, we have in Capital Raisers Club right now, during our live events, there's fewer people than during the replays. We're all working very hard. We're all working crazy hours. I work 12 hours a day myself. So not everybody makes it to our live events, but people can see your comment, Greg. So equity partners, capital raisers, equity lenders, please reach out to Greg Dion. He's right now looking for you. He's also looking for passive and active investors. So you can reach Greg on LinkedIn. How best would you like to be connected and reached on? What's the best way to reach you, Greg? Hey, I could share what we're looking for in Capital Raisers Club. If you have run online communities before and you'd like to help out a startup, Capital Raisers Club is still a startup. We're, less than a year running. So if you would like to help us out with our community that we're gonna publish on Saturday this weekend, We're gonna just do it it's a soft launch first for our inner circle, the members that have been here all the way since August with us. We're creating a small community. We're gonna grow it. We're gonna invite the rest of Capital Races Club. We have about 312 followers on LinkedIn right now, so we're growing massively. Not too many subscribers on YouTube, so let me pitch that for just a second. If you are a member of Capital Races Club, if you are receiving our emails, that means that you're a member. So if you're receiving our emails and we have forgot to invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do, because that would help us greatly. Yeah, it really would. We greatly appreciate your help and our members. So the best way to connect with Greg is info@brightstarrealty.com. Hope I didn't butcher that too much, but if you're listening to this, go to brightstarrealty.com and connect with Greg, who's currently looking for active and passive investors, and who's also looking to link up with capital raisers, equity partners, and equity lenders. So, Greg, that's great, by the way. Thank you. What I've noticed when I go to networking events, I'm going to share a couple of networking tips that I've noticed, and feel free to put in anything in the chat that you would like to ask or input. I'm going to share a story with you. So back in May last year, I went to about 20 meetups per week, and in the beginning of May, we were still I think we were in Playa del Carmen, somewhere in Mexico, and that was just before we were flying over to Texas for the first time. When in the beginning of networking with commercial real estate, it was super daunting. I felt like, what am I doing here? Hey, everybody, I'm from residential area. I've been in residential space for like 9 years. Okay, I know my stuff, but geez, these players are playing at million kind of game, or even hundreds of millions. I mean, on Thursday, we're interviewing a very successful individual, Vina Jetty, who has managed over $1 billion in assets. So, I mean, some of these meetups, you can meet incredible people like that. So, in the beginning, I was sharing a lot of things that I thought was irrelevant. Like, hey, how do you underwrite? What does even underwrite mean? So, I created recently. I created this form. It's a form that you can download. Please go to capitalracersclub.com to download this glossary terms. So I didn't understand what COC was, even though I was using that for commercial. I mean, for the residential side, we just said cash on cash return. I never read the COC one. I didn't know what IRR was. I didn't know what all of these things were, and I was also super afraid to ask those. I'm sharing that because I've noticed in the meetups that I go to right now, we have a lot of very shy people. I'm a shy person at times, really super rare. But at times I feel like uncomfortable with sharing those kind of questions. Like, hey, what do you mean by IRR? Or what do you mean by commercial real estate? Like, I don't even know what commercial means. I would like to share with you this because a person like me can be afraid of asking that. And I'm sure that you sometimes also feel like, can I ask this or can I not ask this? And in one of the meetups within the GOB network, a great mentor of mine, he said, there are no bad questions. The only bad question is the one that's not asked. And I didn't, first time he said that, I didn't capture that. I didn't understand what he meant. I was thinking that, hey, yeah, people say that there are no bad questions, there are no stupid questions, but they don't really mean that. My questions are super basic. Come on, I don't know what I'm asking right now. I'm going to read the comments real soon, but before then, I'm going to share this piece. So what I noticed was when I started asking those questions of, hey,
vetting a market. What does that mean? Or hey, I did the same thing for residential, but I didn't speak the commercial terms yet. I started asking more. I started to connect more. People were asking me to join on their like Calendly pages or like book a meeting with them. And I was thinking to myself, well, you're in Chicago or you're in California. Why? It doesn't make sense for me to meet you, right? I'm focused in Texas. See, my mind couldn't at the time comprehend that we could be of value to each other. I didn't even understand the term of providing value. You can provide value to people by asking questions. You can provide value to people by showing interest. I've seen this and I've done this. I walked this path very recently, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. I would like to share it with you because I wish somebody shared it with me a year ago as I was walking this path. So that was a quick recap of what's happened under the last year. So back to the comment section. Thank you, Sam, from Greg. Hey, appreciate you too, brother. We have Cecilia Hollmerus asking, how can new members join the events that you are mentioning that you are going to share with your inner circle? Oh, so the inner circle events that I'm talking about, they're actually, maybe I shouldn't even mention those because it's the original founders of Capital Racers Club. They have access. Also, we were starting out on Clubhouse in August last year, 21, and it was a very, very close-knit, circle of friends that we just, active and passive investors getting together, talking. Then we had, tens, like dozens of people just joining us and just listening to us talk about commercial real estate, different markets we're in, different deals that we're currently working. And we grew into, hundreds of followers. I think we're like in the 600 or 700 followers on Clubhouse right now. We already left Clubhouse, so if you're watching this wishing that we are back on Clubhouse. Unfortunately, we're not going to go back to Clubhouse. We're doing live videos. We're doing live streams on LinkedIn. We're doing live streams on YouTube, and we're also doing live streams on Twitter. Let's see if TikTok's going to allow us to do live streams soon. If so, we're on it. So to join, or new members, if you want to join the Capital Racers Club, please go to capitalracersclub.com. That way you can join us. That's the easiest way. Subscribe to our newsletter. When you see us send you an email, if you really enjoy it, please share it because that's the best way to share the wealth, right? So we have a question or comment from Jennifer D. McCracken, sorry. I was just going to ask where to learn the number and lingo better for commercial prior to even presenting a deal. That's a great, exactly. Right now you're providing value to this, to our network, and I'm very grateful for that. So thank you, Jennifer, for sharing. So the document that I was talking about is just a Google Doc. I can share it with you. I wonder if I can share it live with you, like right now. You can see my drive. It's right here. Real estate glossary. Okay. Excuse me, everybody. I just really want to share this with Jennifer real quick. So feel free to put in your comments, your input in the chat. And like I said earlier, closed mouth doesn't get fed. This one is for you, Jennifer. I don't know if you can click this, but if you go to YouTube, you can definitely click it. Yeah, the link doesn't make sense, right? I don't think you can type that in, but if you are, please add Samson Hollmerus on LinkedIn if you haven't already, and send me a message. I will send you that same link as a message. It's just a doc of the most, common terms or common abbreviations in commercial real estate or real estate investing. And yeah, feel free to add like if there are some of those that definitely don't make sense. Yeah, always appreciate feedback. So hope that helps. Going to go to the next one. Hey, we have a Cecilia also on YouTube. She's very active on every platform today. That's That's hilarious. For all of you who are watching this right now, I wanna just let you know something real funny. You see, I'm married, right? Cecilia is my wife, and she's the best wife you can have. I mean, she's the most supportive wife ever. Right now, she's commenting on YouTube saying, "Wow, there are 20 meetups per week. That's amazing." That's great advice that your mentor said that there are no bad questions. The only bad questions are the ones that you don't ask. And I can see that you're also a very active listener. Thank you so much. I'm definitely going to start asking more questions. Thank you for sharing. Hey, thank you, Cecilia, for being here. You're adorable. Okay, Jennifer, I do that. Hesitate to ask. I'm more likely to ask on a one-on-one versus a group setting. Hey, I feel you, because it is way more comfortable asking that in private. And anytime you have those kind of questions, you know, you can DM me, you can DM. Hey, also Greg is right here beside you in the chat. Connect with Greg, because he's looking to connect with more active and passive investors. And you said that you're going to share presenting a deal. So, I mean, connect with Greg. Have a one-on-one with him. He's right here in the Capital Races Club. I mean, strike a conversation, book a meeting, and have those. And also, I mean, even having that fear of sharing in group settings, or right now I'm live on 3 platforms, right? 3 of the biggest platforms on the internet, right? So, okay, it's not Facebook, but we left that one. But 3 of the biggest platforms for organic reach. All right. Yeah, this can be daunting. So if I can do this, please do ask in small groups, because those groups can become, you know, your tribe. And growing your tribe, I mean, in the beginning, I didn't understand this, you know, tribes and groups and whatnot. But as I've been in GOB Network, as I've been in Capital Races Club, and now, I mean, I see the value of actually sharing those questions up front and just being sincere. And sharing it from a vulnerable standpoint of saying, hey, I'm just curious, or hey, I don't know if this is the right thing to ask or not. You can even charge the question, or take some pressure off that question of asking something, you know, vulnerable. You can just say something before, like, I don't know if this is the right question to ask, or hey, I'm new with this, or hey, I would really like to know about this. And then ask the question. Because once you say something like that, people are usually like, oh, this is actually a real question that you care about. Those are the best questions, and that is massive value for whoever is, whoever you're asking that question to. We have, it won't let me click on that. Okay, Jennifer, please, Cecilia, I don't know if we can send this to Jennifer during the live. But afterwards, and also if you're on the Capital Races Club emails newsletter, which you can find on capitalracesclub.com, I can email it to you after this. I can search for you, and yeah, it's a little bit time intensive on my end. The easiest way would be if you DM me on LinkedIn, and I will send it that way. All right. So we have Cecilia Hollmerus on LinkedIn now. Holy cow, she jumps on all platforms. How do you think that TikTok will be better for building your brand than Clubhouse? Yeah, so we left Clubhouse because, okay, I don't want to talk bad about apps, bad about anything, but you can notice where the organic reach is and where the organic reach is not. In the quality of the meetings, in the quality of the content on the platform. Now, why am I saying that? When it comes to Facebook quality posts, and when it comes to quality groups on Facebook, I've noticed, or on Clubhouse, or on any other platform, it really doesn't matter which platform you're talking about. But if your content creators themselves are not active on the platform in which they're sharing their content, that to me is a red flag. That to me says, which platform are you active on? And that made me think of the platforms that people are active on. Actively producing on YouTube, actively sharing content on LinkedIn, and they're actively responding to the DMs and to the retweets on Twitter. And now I'm seeing on TikTok the same thing. We have active, like, people with millions of followers and millions of subscribers in their email lists respond to their, that's for me at least, saying that, hey, if you're active here, you're doing your own videos, you're doing, you have maybe a marketing team, but you're still on this platform. That to me says that this is the platform for me. Whoa, the comment section is blowing up now. This is awesome. It won't let me click on that. Feel free to continue to share. I mean, this is an open Q&A. Feel free to share any questions, any insights that you have when it comes to networking or just building your network within this topic. So why did you feel that it was better for Capital Races Club to leave Facebook Lives? So yeah, again, to the organic reach, we noticed that share. One second. Technical difficulties during the live. It's okay. So why did you feel, we have a question from YouTube. We have a question from Cecilia on YouTube, who's asking, why did you feel that it was better for Capital Races Club to leave Facebook Lives? So we haven't made the decision yet to leave Facebook Lives. We may still stream some of our content to Facebook. Having said that, the organic reach, because we weren't paying Facebook to spread our message, Facebook was not spreading our message. Now, what do I mean by that? We're also not paying LinkedIn to spread our message. And yet we have more people on LinkedIn on this live call or on this live networking event than we have ever had on Facebook. That's why we decided that we're going to try out Twitter instead, grow our Twitter account to about the same that we have on Facebook. We're going to A/B test. Is Facebook something that we're going to leave, or are we going to continue with Twitter? Because there's no point in sharing this value content. We have extremely busy and successful investors on our show, and I mean, it wouldn't be of value to our audience. It wouldn't be of value to our network to continue on a platform that doesn't value our content. Does that make sense? Sounds fantastic, says Jennifer. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. Okay, will do. Hey, absolutely. Go for it. It does, yes. Not sure what you're commenting to, but okay. Thank you. Hey, in closing, before we go to closing, I would like to once again share with you all today that capitalracesclub.com. Feel free to go to capitalracesclub.com for more content like this to join our network as well. Today's event is sponsored by gobnetwork.com, where you can connect with active and passive investors. So we have a great sponsor, and I just want to give you a shout out to the founder, Jim Biggs, of that network. Without him, I wouldn't be in commercial real estate. Without Daryl Murphy Sr., I wouldn't be in commercial real estate. Without the GOB network, I would not be in commercial real estate. So I am truly honored that we're sponsored by you all. So thank you so much for that. And yeah, that's it. Check it out. I'm gonna stop the ticker. So, hey, we have any more questions from the audience? If we have any questions from the members, or feel free to share anything like, hey, which markets are you looking at? Where are you currently actively looking for deals? What are you currently looking for? Or if you just want to share something today with Capital Races Club, feel free to share it here. We can bring it up, and it's, I mean, like I said earlier, closed mouths don't get fed. And what we've found to be very, very true when networking is just ask and just share and just be you. It's it's been very, very, very good way to expand our network. Anyways, if no further questions, I would once again like to invite you to our Thursday interactive interview with Veena Jetty. And I'm super stoked that we get to interview her because, yeah, Google her and you will see why. A lot of you all have already signed up on LinkedIn. So yeah, this is a call to action right now. If you haven't already signed up for the interview with Veena Jetty, that is an interactive interview where you get to ask questions, just like you did today here in Capital Races Club. Like you get to put the questions and insights in the comments, and we will bring them up during the show. Granted, we will have a little bit of a bigger audience that time because we're preparing a little bit more than we did today. Just yeah, but I mean, please feel free to go to Capital Races Club on LinkedIn. Click attend event. That way you will get your notification just before the event. Also, if you would like to join our WhatsApp squad, we have a small group of people on WhatsApp that we have a broadcast on WhatsApp. So we can send you a WhatsApp notification just before. We will send you a private message that, hey, we're going live at this time. Please join us. And we're very, very careful to not spam our audience. Hey, by the way, I would like to ask just an honest question for you all. Everybody who has ever received an email from Capital Races Club, I would like to ask you this honestly. Like, why do you open our emails more than any other newsletter that you're subscribing to? And this is not a humble brag because I am genuinely interested in understanding why our numbers are almost triple what the norm is. Do you really value our content that much, or is it something else? Because I want to understand what works and what doesn't. That way we can always improve. If you have any feedback, feel free to give it because we're always looking to provide value to our community. So I'm just very, very excited. If you have received an email from us, why do you open and click the invites? We only send emails, by the way, like once or twice a week at maximum. Maybe that is why, or maybe it is because the only time we send you an email is because we have an event. We're gonna create a deal flow newsletter. So if you're looking in the Texas market, we're gonna have a Texas newsletter. Texas, like Houston market updates. You're gonna get some information about the Houston markets. What are the numbers looking like right now? What are the numbers looking at in Austin? What are the numbers looking at in San Antonio? And the reason I'm already saying this and sharing this with you today is because I've noticed that whenever I share with people online that, hey, I'm going to do something, it actually increases the odds of me doing that. And I put in systems and processes in place and I just get it done. Otherwise, I already work 12 hours a day, but I get way more done during those 12 hours when I put myself for those kind of challenges. So feel free to subscribe to capitalracesclub.com newsletter so that you get market updates. And we're gonna separate the newsletter for Capital Races Club for Capital Races Club members for the events, and we're gonna separate them from the ones that are deal flow. So it's gonna be a separate email list. If you want to join the deal flow emails newsletter, we share deals that are active, deals we're looking to raise for, or deals that we're looking to get into, or deals that we just came out of, those kind of emails. Feel free to reply to our upcoming email with the text deal flow. Because if you want to be part of it, we only invite people to that. We don't do cold emails. I never do that. I don't want to do that. I don't like when people send me an email and I never ask for it. I'm like, whoa, how did you get me? Yeah, it's just creepy. So feel free to text us deal flow if you want to join that. Cecilia Hollmerus, you're super grateful today. Thank you for explaining is what she's saying on LinkedIn. Thank you so much. Cecilia, I'm really excited for Thursday's event. Me too. All right, now she's also commenting. I would say that one thing is that the emails has a great subject line and makes me excited to open. That's super cool. I didn't notice that the headlines, we make them up on the spot. I'm sorry, but that's super good. That's great feedback. Thank you. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, I'm sure it really is. Thank you so much for that. Never gave that a thought. I was just curious. So if anybody else has any comments that they would like to share, feel free to comment right now. If you're watching the replay of this and you would like to receive the replay email, feel free to join our club by going to capitalracersclub.com. That way we will send the recordings of these meets to you, and you get to see why people open our email so much. It's basically just saying, here's your recording. We're giving you what we promise, right? There's no fluff. Anyways, this has been fun. Lots of technical glitches today. Lots of vulnerable shares, both from the audience and from me. And I'm very grateful for you all for being here today. And I respect your time. And we're closing out in about 2 minutes. Any last questions or concerns or insights that you would like to share? How can people reach out to you? So Cecilia, what are you doing? What are you looking for? And come on, share with the whole audience right now. What are you looking for and how can we help you? Oh, also Jennifer, what are you looking for and how can we help you? And also Greg, if you're still here, thank you for sharing what we can help you with and how we can connect with you. So I'm going to share that once again now. Greg asked earlier, he's looking to connect with passive and active investors. He's also looking to link up with capital raisers. Hint, capital raisers club. Okay, he's looking to link up with capital raisers, equity partners, and equity lenders as well. So connect with Gregory Dion on info@ByteStar Realty in inbt.com. That's the way you can connect with him. Right. So in closing, I'm going to share with you all that today's sponsor for this event. Oops. Where is it? There it is. CapitalRaisersClub.com. Go to CapitalRaisersClub.com. Go to CapitalRaisersClub.com for more. Today's event is sponsored by GOBNetwork.com, where you can connect with active and passive investors. Hint, Greg. You can go to GOBNetwork.com and you can connect with them all. There's a lot of equity lenders, equity partners, and capital raisers in that community. So definitely join if you haven't already and connect with them all. We can't see more of the comments right now. All right, so in closing, Cecilia wants to share with you all that she's currently working with social media marketing, website development, and branding. If anybody wants help with their social media platforms, feel free to send me a private message. Beautiful. How can people send you a private message, Cecilia? She's right now on LinkedIn, by the way. She's very active on LinkedIn, and I've noticed that. So in closing, feel free to put in how people best can connect with you, and I will show that during our closing. Talk to you soon. Got about 3 seconds. No rush. Okay. Okay. So Cecilia just shared LinkedIn is best, or send me an email at, oh, she just shared her personal email. Please don't spam her, okay? Cecilia.hollmerus@gmail.com is how you best can connect with Cecilia. So connect with Cecilia for branding, social media marketing, or website development. And if you need help with social media platforms, Oh, we also have Jennifer just now in closing sharing that. She's looking for a 5 to 20 unit property located locally in Minnesota or Indianapolis to generate cash flow. Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, looking for larger multifamily to partner up on. Jennifer, let's talk. Those some of those markets are markets we're active in. So definitely connect with me after this. And if there's anybody in the capital raises level, anybody who just saw this on Twitter, YouTube, or LinkedIn that want to connect with you, feel free to share how people can connect with you, Jennifer, please. And then we're going to close out. Usually we don't go over the hour, but today it's just me here in the studio, so I can actually share with you all a couple of extra minutes. Michigan, Indiana. My apologies. I'm not American yet. So Michigan and Indiana are the markets that she's looking in, and I made an error. I apologize. Perfect, will do. All right, so connect with Jennifer on LinkedIn. You're seeing the beautiful wallpaper. Connect with Jennifer on LinkedIn, Jennifer D. McCracken, and then yeah, if you're looking to partner up on multifamily, larger multifamily in Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, or if you have a 5 to 20 unit property locally in Michigan or Indiana, definitely connect with Jennifer McCracken. All right, without further ado, on to the next task on my list. See you all on Thursday when we have our live interactive interview. And please be mindful that the interview is only for 1 hour. So if you put the questions later on, we take them in chronological order. So it doesn't matter the amount of questions, we're taking them in chronological order. So please put them in as soon as possible. You can already go to our YouTube channel, our Twitter account, or our LinkedIn page, and you can put in the questions already. That way people can see what you have to ask, and we can bring it up during the show. So Jennifer just shared her LinkedIn profile with you all. You go to linkedin.com in IN/JDNCCRACKEN. And she's also looking forward to Thursday. See you all on Thursday. I'm super stoked. We're all super stoked in Capital Races Club. Take care. Bye-bye.